Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make one of the Chapter 4 worksheets here. At the very end, we'll do a sectional view. Now, I am changing the UCS around so that our XY plane is on the front. So circle 6, 4, radius of 3, zooming out. And we'll go ahead and make another circle. And same center point, 6, 4, this time radius of 4. And let's go ahead and press pull this. And remember, you select in between the lines, not the surface itself, and we'll go back 12 for this thing. Okay, rotate around so you can see this. Okay, the next thing we'll do is let's move the UCS around again. This is just back to the world. And I'm going to use the array. The array happens on that XY plane, which is why we moved the UCS around again. So we're going to array this little section of pipe, and it's going to be a polar array. For the base point, we're going to go right in the middle. 6, 6, 4 is where the middle is for this orientation. And we only want 2 objects, and those are going to be at 90 degrees to one another. Okay, so there's 2 pipes. Go ahead and enter. So that's what we have right now. I like to explode arrays because sometimes they act kind of funny. So now we have 2 individual pipes in there, and that's just arrays act funny for the future when we're using subtract. Okay, back to the 2D wireframe. I'm going to go ahead and move our UCS right to the center point, and we're going to make another circle. This is the one coming off the top of it. So this is going to be at 0, 0, 0 and a radius of 3.5. And I'm going to extrude this guy up a distance of 8. Okay, so let's look at this again. So here we have, and there's not holes through this, but don't worry, we'll fix that in just a little bit. Okay, moving that UCS around again to the world view. And for this one, let's rotate around the x-axis 90 degrees. So now our XY plane, which is the plane we draw on, is one of these sides, and I'm going to go ahead and make some cutouts for this. We have a rectangle from the top, and where we are, this is going to go from 4, 8 up to 8, 12. And one more thing, a circle. The center of the circle is going to be at 6, 4, and the diameter is 3. That's what we had before. And what we're going to do is punch these through. So first, union. All of the solids, we're going to union those together to just one solid chunk. And then we can take that rectangle and circle we just drew. I'm going to use PressPull. And with the PressPull command, I'm going to grab the rectangle and then M for multiple. So we can PressPull multiple things at once. So there's the circle. Pulling those all the way through, and it looks like it's making a solid instead of carving it out, so we'll just have to use our subtract command. Okay, so subtract, enter, click on the object you want to keep, and then the 2 objects we want to get rid of. Okay, so there's kind of what our side view should look like. Now let's go ahead, we're going to move that UCS around again, and I'm going to center it so that our XY plane is going to be over on this other side. So now we can carve away at this other side. And you can keep that same origin, rotate it around. The big deal is that XY plane is where we want to draw on. Okay, so I'm just rotating it around the Y-axis. And we have a circle up at the top, so this circle is going to be at -10, 6, just how I have that UCS oriented this time around. So he's up at the top. Let me switch to wireframe. And I'm going to make another circle. And this is just going to hollow out that other tube. So center of -4 and 6. And the radius is just going to be 3 again. Press pull. I'll grab the circle on the top first. M for multiple. Grab the second circle. Enter. And we're going to be pulling those through. It looks like it made a solid again, so go ahead and subtract. So the big area you want to keep, enter, and then minus, just click on everything you want to get rid of. Okay, so here we go. We've got everything carved out, and we've got hollow tunnels. I can go ahead and delete those drawing objects now that they've been press-pulled through there. Last thing, let's check our orientation. So I'm going to go ahead and say UCS, go back to the world view, and check with, now, let's see, that's not what's actually, that's supposed to be on the right-hand side, not the front. So I'll use the 3D rotate command, select my object, and the base point, let's rotate from the center of him. And we just want to turn him around 90 degrees. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, so yeah, the front view. And you could, when you get into VIEWBASE in the layout, you can change which orientation, but sometimes it's easier just to use the 3D rotate here. Okay, so the front is now where the front is supposed to be. Right-hand side is where the right-hand side is supposed to be. So now we can go over to the layout, use VIEWBASE out of the model space, and as you're placing your views, leave a little bit of extra room in between a couple of them for a sectional view. So I'm going to pull him all the way out to the side here just to leave some more room. Right-click Enter when you're finished with that, and then I'm going to try out the View Section. So that's the new thing for this chapter is View Section, and I'm going to take it a full sectional view off of this front. So click, enter, and then just pull it out. I'm going to leave some room for dimensions over there. You can always click on these and drag them around later with those blue handles on them. And then you can move your text around. You'll probably be going back and forth, turning your snaps on and off as you're doing this. And let's see, if you want to change the size of this thing, just right-click, Quick Properties. Let's see, is that the, yeah, so just, I don't know, 0.15, make it, give you a little bit more room to do dimensions. And then walk around and add some dimensions. Remember, you don't want to dimension to hidden lines. So just for each object, see what the best view is to dimension things to. And you want to dimension kind of towards the inside rather than in the borders. Some of these, if they fight you, just go back in later, click on it, grab the blue link, and then pull it to where you want to. And I'm kind of turning snaps on and off as I'm doing this as well. So just tug them around to where you want them to be. 2 significant figures is usually pretty good. Okay, so there's a bunch of the dimensions added on there. I've suppressed arrows, but you'll notice how all the dimensions are towards the center. Everything is only dimensioned once. So try and keep it from looking too cluttered. Okay, hope that won't give you too much trouble.